Hey guys, welcome back to Night Call Part 18, potentially the final part, because I have accused someone, the only person I haven't met yet because everyone else seems innocent to me, and let's see what happens. Let's get into it. A. Continue. So I forgot before, but she did give me 3 nights to find someone, which is why I was kind of worried about money, but I guess I shouldn't have been since I only had a few more nights left, I guess. Okay, take a few minutes to update clues. No, already did that. Okay, we already did this, so I just need to skip through it. Okay, I thought it would save after this, but I guess not. So this is the guy who I accused because all the other ones I've had in my cab and they don't seem oh hey, it looks like this guy got taken out. So we had 2 people that well, I don't know so much if he got taken out or if these 3 are just more likely, but she seems innocent to me, he seems innocent to me, and I haven't had him yet, so I'm just gonna accuse him. Okay, I'm just gonna skip all this. Sorry guys, you already saw this part. Okay. Night 7. This is where we left off. You've barely gotten downstairs when you catch sight of Bousset. She's leaning up against the door of your cab, eyes wide open, forehead creased. Ooh, get in. You obey, it's too early to react. She settles into the back seat, flashes a smile. Good news, you're right, or at least the DA thinks your evidence is sufficient. No emotion in her voice, she's giving you the facts, nothing more. We're going to bring Fragonard in tonight. That's the guy I accused. She nods, her expression clouds over. I have trouble. She freezes. Fragonard is a mentor. Mine and half the squad's you can't understand. He's an institution. She stops, clears her throat. I need your help. One last time. Later on tonight, we're going to get Fragonard to leave home and find a way to get him into your taxi. She pulls some kind of pen out of her pocket that she puts into the little cubby just above the car stereo. This is a bug. You need a confession? If you feel like it, if you think you can manage. I've seen you and heard you enough to know that you have a trick, a gift for getting people to talk. I need someone I can trust to get close to Fragonard without making him suspicious. He's a cop, he knows how we work, no one's ever sent a taxi driver to make an arrest. He won't put up a fight. I hope he'll open up to you, that he'll confess before things fall apart. Not too far from the hospital where he goes for his treatments, there's an alleyway under construction. There won't be any civilians, just us and him. She sighs. 2 teens walk by the cab, and the intense smell of weed fills the cab. Bousset doesn't budge. I know you can do it. If you stick to the plan, nothing can go wrong. What if there's a problem? If you stick to the plan, there won't be any problems. She lays her hand on the door handle. You pick the suspect up, drive to the meeting point, and you're free. Easy as pie. She gets out of the cab, slams the door, and walks quietly away. Shit. You hit the dashboard. Intense pain spreads through your hand. You grab the keys in the ignition and turn. The motor comes on. Your night is about to begin. Your last night. Oh, shit. Okay. Our last night, huh? Where is this guy? Well, I guess it's one more night of going around. I guess I'll pick up Hervé to see what he has to say, because he's the only one blinking, I guess. I hope we're right. So this is our last night. Need a ride, cabby? That's an awfully long ride. The door opens. It's Hervé. He greets you with his bizarre verbal tick as usual. Getting damn cold out now. Ow. Hi, Hervé. You start the engine. Pretty cold tonight, right? His voice has a peculiar lilt to it, as if certain syllables were sung to stop him from stuttering. Hey, aren't you cold with your ass stuck to that car seat of yours? Yeah, we freeze our asses off. That's what I thought. You can't fool me. I know a cold guy when I see one, huh? I've got a place to stay in Passy. Any way you can give me a lift? Sure, of course. Great, mate. That way we stay nice and warm. In the 15 years I've been on the street, it's never been this cold, I swear. You know, some guys aren't gonna make it, shit. That's how it goes, for us, yes. A pause. His smell is gradually permeating the inside of the cab. It doesn't bring back fond memories, but it doesn't bother you either. You'll leave the door open later on to air out the cab. But you know, I'm used to it, even before, sure. I don't think I ever told you, when I was a kid, I was never cold, old. Never. A weird, uneasy break. One time my mother dragged me to the Pyrenees during the vacation. Didn't know what the hell to do with me, like to drink, you see. And the first night we were there, I broke the bottle of gin she brought along. Should have seen her, threw a fit, shit. She gave me a thrashing, but I gave as good as I got. That's how we used to talk back then. She ended up dragging me by my pants and locking me out on the balcony. Icicles were hanging from the eaves. It had snowed the day before, sure. I sat there for an hour, arms crossed, with the cardigan on my back, Mac, and underpants on my ass. I didn't budge. She was storming around the apartment, my old lady was, yelling at me, but I didn't hear nothing. And well, the cold didn't get me, see? Felt nothing at all, nah. Wish I could say the same today. What happened in the end? Well, it got dark out. She let me in, did. She was furious all week. It was the last time we went on vacation together. After that, she died. Number up. Yep. A pause. I used to tell my body Seb that story all the time. You know, the tall black guy who used to hang around with me? Yeah. Well, he really loved that story. He asked me to tell it to him over and over again. But I think what he really loved was hearing me talk about my old lady, you know what I mean? Doesn't make us any younger. Hey. The cab pulls up into the shelter in Passy. Fuck, the last time I was here, there was a protest out front. A bunch of guys from the neighborhood who didn't want us to squat the place. They were yelling their heads off, sounded like a bunch of goddamn sailors. Yeah, sailors. So I guess even those rich dudes have balls. He exits the cab. Thanks, man. I know I can count on you. Good luck. Okay. He rubs his hands together and walks towards the shelter. Okay, our last passenger. So we got to choose one last person before we made it to the finale, I guess, and I chose Hervé because he was one of the suspects, you know? Okay. Your next passenger is your suspect, the retired policeman. Judging by his looks, you could have easily guessed. Hospital St. Louis, please. You nod your head and start the engine. Your passenger seems to have his mind elsewhere, not entirely awake, stubble on his chin. You scan his skin, his movements, his attitude, It's cold as shit this morning. His voice makes you jump. You nod. You have more people or not as many when it's cold out like this? Folks tend to stay home when it's too cold. There might be more of them, but they make shorter trips. Makes sense. Dead silence. Talk about the weather. It's worse in summertime, though. People don't take cabs as much, but when they do, they go further. Obviously. You drive in silence for a second. The road goes by. You don't want to look in your side mirrors too often. You haven't seen a trace of the cops yet. He has something in his hand that he's poking down. Bousset told you not to worry, but... You know, it's funny. Just this morning, I was thinking about an old case. One of my first cases, actually. It was just after the Mesrine case. You know who Mesrine is, don't you? Or am I really that old? You sense it's the right time to get him to talk. Public enemy number one? Exactly. Public enemy number one. I joined the force a few months after his death and everybody was still talking about it. Public opinion was very divided. Did the cops murder Mesrine or was it self-defense? I know the answer. They shot him down like a dog. He looks straight at you. You can see the hint of an underground fire roaring deep in his eyes. Now, I most certainly do not want to die like a dog, understood? He catches his breath and is clearly shaken. He ever so slowly reaches into his pocket and pulls out a weapon. Where did Bousset ask you to take me? Ooh, I got an achievement for discovering the judge's identity. This is him! Okay. Excuse me? Don't take me for a fool. Keep lying, tell the truth. I swear I have no idea what you're talking about. A gun appears. Shame. I thought I might just get a chance at some honesty in this cold world, just once, just to see what it feels like. I dedicated my whole life to the justice system, to getting to the truth. At least that's what I tell myself, and what I say to new recruits. But I'm tired of all the games, all the fucking lies. Where'd they order you to take me? Lying isn't gonna get us anywhere, so I'm just gonna tell the truth. A warehouse, some old garage. They're waiting for us there. An ambush. I'm no Mesrine, you know. I'm not gonna pull a grenade out from under the back seat here. He cuts off with a groan. When he starts speaking again, his voice is chilling. Bousset. You can see his finger on the trigger. It's shaking ever so slightly. How much does she know? She has evidence. You hear a long sigh coming from the back seat. A few seconds go by. You try to concentrate on driving despite your sweaty hands and dripping brow. Okay, why hasn't she tried to arrest me then? You shrug. Don't know. She told me it would be easier this way. I think she hopes you'll turn yourself in without a fight. He looks away. You know, Bousset is really one of a kind, but she doesn't fit into today's world. Neither do I, for that matter. The weapon he is holding is shaking slightly, wavering. You suddenly notice he's speaking to you in a more familiar tone. That's why I killed them. Bastards, all of them. Rapists, murderers, and liars who escaped prosecution. Now Bousset'd like to do the same thing I did, slam a bullet into the head of the first murderer she could get her hands on. But she can't. You just can't do that anymore. A long, painful, heavy sigh. In any case, now there's only one truth left. No more confrontation, no debate, no need for justice to be served. They were guilty, and I killed them. I can write that down if you want, it's no secret. I knew I'd be caught sooner or later, either by Bousset or by... His sentence hangs in the air. I'm sick, got cancer, all over. They hope some new drug might cure me, but what's the point, honestly? He abruptly accelerates his speaking pace. I don't want to go to jail. A cop can't go to jail. I don't want to see my face on the cover of magazines and newspapers. But I don't want her to deny Bousset the pleasures of catching me, her and her team. So, here's what we're going to do. There's a place in Montmartre, a place I really love. It's my first memory of Paris. I must have been 6 or 7. My mother had come all the way from Martinique. She thought she could convince my father to. Yeah, anyway, there's no point in telling that story. I want to hear it. He snickers. And buy yourself some time? No. There's a bench up there, not far from Sacré-Cœur. This bench has 2 clear advantages. First, it faces the city of Paris. Southern facing, all the monuments are there, staring back in splendor. He starts to speak with confidence. I especially like it when all the buildings poke out above in the cloud of pollution. Notre Dame Square towers, Pompidou and its colored pipes, the Eiffel Tower. He shakes his head and his voice sounds deep and serious again. The second advantage to sitting on this bench is that you turn your back to Sacré-Cœur, an ugly building. They only built it to rub the church the right way. He looks away and remains silent for a while. His hands shake a little. I want to see Paris one last time. It's a little too early to watch the sunrise, but at least there'll be people around. Lovers. Life. I just want to go sit on the bench, look out at Paris, alone, for 5 minutes. And then you can go to the meeting point so Bousset can pick me up. What do you say? Okay. You turn around. You'll see. The view is incredible. Neither of you says a word for several minutes. You drive in silence. Then, as you're beginning the climb up to the top of Montmartre, the cop lowers his weapon. I want to apologize. I'm sorry I hurt you the night of the attack. Everything could have turned out so differently. You're nothing like the guy I took down, you know? He was a kid at the time, but there was something in his eye, something bad, something evil. His eyes sparkle for a bit, tears perhaps? Seconds later, you park a few meters away from Sacré-Cœur. The bench is right over there. I just need 5 minutes. 5 minutes and we'll go. Got it? You nod. Don't do it. He lays his hand on the door handle and gives you a genuine smile. Do what? You're going to kill yourself, aren't you? He pauses. To be perfectly honest, I don't really know yet. The cop suddenly seems older than he really is. His voice croaks slightly as he says to you, "Thanks, friend." He gets out of the cab. You watch the old cop. He takes a few steps towards the bench, walks around it like he wants to look at it from every angle. He doesn't so much as glance at Sacré-Cœur and its dome, lit up with powerful spotlights. A few passers-by, chilled to the bone, are wandering about nonchalantly on the square in front. The cop finally sits on the bench. He stays there a long minute, contemplating Paris. Strings of light weave around traffic circles and intersections, making a magnificent canvas. There's a sudden movement. In a matter of seconds, he pulls the gun out of his pocket and up to his chin. A shot rings out. Ooh. Thanks, friend. Those were his last words. Are you fucking kidding me? No. Lieutenant Bousset watches you, her jaws clenched, locked more like. What else did he say? He confessed to his crimes. The wire you put in the cab must have caught it all. You have the recording. Bousset stares at you for a second before looking away. Shit, this is not how it was supposed to end. You're not clear on whether she's angry or sad. I'm sorry. She pretty much cuts you off. Did he say anything about me? It's all on the recording. He said you were like him. Of course. That guy was my mentor, a father figure, actually. He taught me everything I know. That's why I slipped you his file. I couldn't investigate him. No one on the team wanted to either. It was unthinkable, unfeasible. Fuck. A semblance of a smile spreads across her face, awkward, strained perhaps. It makes your blood curdle. You're free to go now. Don't leave the country, though. We might have some questions for you at some point. She opens the door. Icy air seeps in. You shiver. You really came through, you know? I didn't think you'd do so well. Her voice breaks up a bit with her last words. Who knew? She gets out of the cab and slams the door behind her, a blunt metallic noise, unidentifiable vibrations. The car quakes and shakes like a boat. A minute goes by before you can move again. You slowly come back to your senses. Stay a little longer. You sit there for a moment, contemplating the scene in front of you. Police squads are moving about, tape keeping the onlookers away, spotlights flooding the judge's lifeless body with white light. Hard to believe it's all over. You need to get away for a while, drive without thinking, distance yourself. A cop on the roadside waves his flashlight, motioning for you to leave. You have no reason to be there anymore. You become a stranger again. Key in the ignition, handbrake off, foot on the accelerator. You leave Sacre Coeur behind. Okay, that was it. Black Muffin Studio, what a cute name. What are my thoughts? I think this is a really cute little detective game. I think it does have replay value because there's lots of people who we didn't get to talk to. I'm surprised we weren't able to find all the suspects. Like, I had most of them in my cab, but I ended up picking the one that I didn't have in my cab, and luckily it worked out. This was on easy, and if I did it again, I'd probably worry slightly less about money because there's only like 6 days, you know, so even if I was slowly losing money, it wouldn't matter in the end. So I could have probably looked for more clues or gotten different passengers, I don't know. But I think it was very well written. The characters were really interesting. They were dynamic. I wish I knew what the Japanese person was saying. Oh, Team Pets. Croaky, Jinx, Crocmel, Ani. Croaky. Croaky is a terrible name for a cat, but he was my favorite passenger. And I guess I had fun just doing terrible, terrible accents. So, let's see if there's anything after. The sun is about to come up. You drove all night long with your window open. You're so tired, your chest is tight, and your eyes are heavy, but you can't stop. Not now. You're going to run out of gas soon. The light went on about 20 kilometers back. You're somewhere in Normandy. Maybe you'll run into that cat you gave a ride to one night. Hey, he's thinking about our favorite cat. You smile and relax at the thought. You pull over onto the shoulder and get out. There's almost no traffic. You step over the guardrail as your eyes adjust to the colorful break of dawn. The sun will soon rise over the horizon. Oh, this is a pretty little scene, isn't it? You get your phone out and dial a number. It doesn't ring, direct to voicemail. A voice asks you to leave a message after the beep. Hey, I wanted to... You catch your breath. When Aide told me she'd held on to your phone just to hear the sound of your voice, I thought it was stupid. But now, the sun is slowly rising and its colors are flooding the landscape. Bare underbrush, a tiny village lost in fog off in the distance, a hilltop sparkling with dew. The view seems alien to you. I wanted to thank you for giving me the opportunity to redeem myself. Thanks. That word disgusts you, but it's too late. Thanks to you, I did something important. I think. Who knows? Silence. Your head is spinning. You haven't spoken to your brother in years. Well, in a manner of speaking, you grin. I'm good. I mean, I guess so. It's strange to hear your voice, but it feels good too. You pause. A truck flies by just meters from you. I thought it was all over. I mean, I thought I'd be able to get some decent sleep. Close my eyes and sleep. Really sleep, finally. But sleeping is just a break. It doesn't put an end to it. It all starts up again as soon as the voice cuts you off. You have reached the maximum time limit. Please. You hang up. Your phone feels heavy in your hand. What should you do now? There's a broken fence in front of you, leading to a small footpath into the woods. Behind you is the highway leading to the sea. I can disappear or get back into the car. Get back into the car? You sigh and retrace your steps. On the other side of the guardrail, you find your overheated cab. The next gas station can't be much further. You slowly turn the key in the ignition. There's gotta be something for you out there. Wow, so I think it just gave us the option to kill ourselves, and that was the game. Okay, well, I guess I've shared my thoughts on it. Thank you so much for watching my playthrough of Night Call. There's definitely going to be more to come, and I'll see you in the next playthrough. Bye!